Hola, Matthew here, back with Angela from Hola Properties with this month's Stats Show for all you statty nerds out there who want to know what are the facts and figures in the local property market. Welcome, Ange.
Thank you.
There's been some fantastic news, or apparent news, that house prices in Andalucia are up around 11% year on year.
Yep.
From around 2,300 euros per square metre. So it sounds like all of the figures in Andalucia mean that everyone's house prices massively rocketed and we're all going to be rich.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful, Matt? Yeah, I mean, these figures are taken as a whole, the whole of Andalucia, a very big area, and looking statistically at the top performing areas. We're looking at the likes of Marbella and the Malaga area, where you've got a lot of larger properties, high value properties that skew other figures from other areas.
Absolutely. I mean, the price of an €8 million villa in Benavis compared to a 2-bedroom townhouse in the Granda Valley, the price per square metre, worlds apart.
Yeah.
So I guess the caveat to this for everyone, first and foremost, never believe an average price or an average price per square metre.
Yeah, don't look in that.
Not the way to calculate house prices. No. Of course, because house price data is not public in Spain, that means that it's just a bit of guesswork for most people, unless they're carrying out a proper comparable market analysis. So, to help you at home, let's have a look at the facts and the figures in the local area. So, starting down on the Costa Tropical with Salobreña, in February this year, there were 302 properties available for sale, with an average asking price of €275,000, which is €1,925 per square metre. If we compared that to August last year, when there were 455 properties available, an average asking price of €265,000 or €1,719 per square metre, that would actually reflect fairly accurately the prices are on the up in Salobreña. The caveat to that is for the right type of property.
Exactly. These are, they're not the typical rural properties that we have in the Granda Valley area and throughout Lanneron. These are specific apartments. These are places on the destination of the beach, where you've got a demographic of people looking for that beautiful looking chic apartment with sea views, compared to the courtiers in so
totally different. But Salobreña, definitely prices on the rise, and those are the facts for you there. They are specific. There are typical certain types of properties that are rising more, and some that are just not moving at all. So I guess as we move back inland a bit, you could take Bella de Bonadaya. Let's look. I mean, February this year, 64 available at €175,000 average price of €1,123 per square metre. Looking at July last year, there were actually 72 available with an average asking price of €164,000, but interestingly, an average price per square metre of €1,314.
Yeah.
So, average price has gone up, price per square metre has gone down. This shows average house prices, isn't it? It's
yeah, and it is a minefield with that. And again, we've had discussions about this. When the person comes fingering there and says, "What do you want for it?" "Oh yeah, let's just list it at this." It skews these type of results. So don't be trusting just the square metre.
Yes, and it should be said these are the properties that are for sale, as opposed to the ones that are actually sold.
Yes.
And that's something people often neglect to sort of comprehend. When you take an average price of what's for sale, that's showing what hasn't sold.
Yes.
So we do also compare that in our reports to the prices of what is actually sold, the prices they've achieved, length of time on market, average percentage achieved.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to it than just these average prices.
There definitely is.
Talk to me about the Valley, Angela. What's happening with prices?
So back last year in February 2024, there were 202 houses for sale with an average asking price of €180,000, so equating to 1,054 per square metre. This year, versus last year in February, 170 houses for sale with an average asking price of 192,000 and price per square metre more or less the same. So there are less houses for sale at the moment, but slightly higher in asking price. And this could be affected by the fact that there are larger houses for sale now. There are houses that have had the renovations and might be for sale now, as opposed to last year when we had smaller properties for sale or properties that needed a little bit of reform.
Yeah, we've certainly seen a big change in demand for the shift from properties for reform into properties that are already reformed.
Yes.
I think in a lot to do with the, speaking of prices, the price of building materials, the cost of builders, everything has got very much more expensive.
Yeah.
And so unless something for reform is priced to genuinely take that into account, why spend 12 months, 2 years doing a property up when you can buy one and move into for the same price?
Exactly, and many people that are coming across now might not know a lot of Spanish. It's a concern. You move into a foreign country, you might not know the language. Who do I reach out to get these prices? What have I got to compare it against?
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, people that are coming across now, it's a lot easier to buy something that's completed.
Absolutely. But of course, if someone wants something for renovation, we've got all the right contacts to help.
We definitely do.
Looking into the Alpujarra then, looking at Orkiba, this year 68 properties for sale with an average asking price of €235,000 or 1,159 per square metre. Compared to this time last year, there were 66 properties at 230,000 or 1,159. That just goes to show again, average price has gone up by 5,000, but the square metre price hasn't changed at all. And similar with Langeron, for example, where there's 68 for sale now, there were 61 last year, average house price 133, last year 108, and 848 per square metre.
It's great.
So, look, please guys, out there, don't take much notice of average prices. They give an indication of where the market's moving, if it's static, but the individual property types. For example, in Orkiba, there's a huge demand for apartments at the moment, which is pushing those prices up.
Yep.
On Salobreña, there's a large demand for houses in the flatter areas, which has meant those prices have gone up, but maybe up to towards the castle where access isn't quite so easy.
The one-way system.
The demand has dropped slightly.
Yeah.
So it is all about not just knowing the numbers, but tying them to the facts as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of discussions. I mean, a lot of people that are registered with us, they know the whole team, and they aren't always looking just in one area. They're not just looking in Lecrin, and they'll be looking over in Orkiba. And when they get to hear these stats, they're like, why is the price per square metre higher there? There's a lot more courtiers in that area. There's a lot more registered courtiers, big courtiers with pools. In the Lecrin Valley, we don't have so much of that. No. So then again, if you're looking at price per square metre, that's completely skewed because you're not comparing apples with apples. No,
always the way. So the best way to get the most accurate advice is with a proper comparable market analysis, something very, very few agents actually do. But if you need that for a specific property, don't hesitate to get in touch. We have all the facts, all the figures. Not just for the areas we've mentioned. Please, if you'd like to know the facts and figures for your area, pop a note below and we'll happily put them in the messages for you.
Brilliant.
So, Ange, thanks for coming and enjoy some statty fun.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you again soon.
Till next time.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.